You're listening to Leisure World Direct. I'm your host, Emma DiMaggio, Communications Manager with the Golden Rain Foundation. I'm here with Executive Director Jessica Sedgwick and Security Director Victor Rocha. Hi, guys.
Morning, morning.
Hello.
Today's topic is scams. Victor, can you tell me how frequently leisure worlders are victims of scams?
Unfortunately, the practice of scams is widespread, but we just don't know exact numbers because, as we'll discuss, there are many that don't come forward after they've been scammed, and we just don't know that true number. But it's rising. It's literally almost on a daily basis. In contact with the police department at least once or twice a week on major scams, and people have lost significant amounts of money.
So people understand the extent of some of these scams. Can you give some examples of a few that you've heard of?
Absolutely. The first, of course, is the romance scams. These are people that leverage people's loneliness, and they realize that people are lonely, and people put themselves out there on social media and on different apps. They're contacted by people. They believe that they have a friend or have met somebody. But after that, then the money ask begins. If I could just have $1,000 to fix my car, if I just need $5,000 to fill in the blank, and they just never are available to meet for some reason. They're always constantly asking for money. When these people do come forward and we tell them, you know what, you get no more money until we meet, no more contact. And so that's, unfortunately, they leverage people's loneliness on that. The government scams, which just feeds on fear. Somebody calls up one of our residents. Imagine the fear they have. You get a call, hey, you need to call us, or we need to get your Social Security squared away here, or you're not going to get a check next month, or your Medicare is going to be cut. You tell this to a senior, what can I do? And they're literally offering up all information, their Social Security numbers, their Medicare information, sometimes their bank account information, just so the person on the other line can, quote, get this all squared away. And they use that fear. And we'll talk about how we can combat these. Another one is our lottery scams, and boy, it's at least once a month. Somebody's won Publishers Clearinghouse here at Leisure World, and we'll actually get calls at the front gate. Please let them in because they're coming in with the van and things like that. Unfortunately, to this, and we try to help the resident get through this because sooner or later they go, well, we're not coming with the truck today. We're just coming to pick up the check for the taxes that you'll owe on what you're going to win. So just have that $10,000 check ready for us, and we'll come and pick it up. And lastly are the grandparent scams. People call up and say, Grandma, Grandpa, you know who this is, right? And it sounds like your granddaughter or your grandson, and they start in with trying to scam you for money or gift cards or you name it. And so these are those are the top four that we seem to face here at Leisure World.
What about like the scams? I know I've been getting text messages about like the toll roads. You owe money to the toll roads.
Yeah.
And then there's always something fear-based following it. If you don't get this figured out, it's gonna affect your registration. We're gonna have to report you. So you instantly call back. And again, we'll get to the last portion here. But again, if unsolicited text, most people, if they need to get a hold of you, or if you owe them money, or need money from you, they will contact you through letter. And so you've got to just learn how to ignore. It's the hardest thing to do, but learn to ignore those texts.
Yeah. I'll note for anyone who's listening who's been a victim of a scam that there are many more scams than these categories can
bet.
cover, but they're all very sophisticated, so it's not worth being ashamed or not stepping forward because, you've been duped. Some of the friendship scams can be very insidious. They start slowly. There's no money, maybe in the beginning. But given that they are so sophisticated, what tips do you have for people to, avoid them or remain on alert?
First of all, when you, again, I can't stress it enough, especially when it comes to the government. Nobody from the government calls you. Nobody from the Social Security Department or the Medicare office calls you up to verify anything. They've got all the information on you that they need. They don't need to call and verify anything with you. And not only that, the government doesn't want to speak to you by phone. They want it all in letter form so they have documentation of everything that they discuss with you. So it's so important that when somebody represents themselves as a government agency that you realize that 99% of the time they will always contact you by letter. Also, the thing is that they begin to harass. Once you start acting a little confused, or what's this all about, or you start asking focused questions, that's when they start getting a little angry. And I'm trying to get this squared away for you, and you're going to be in a lot of trouble. So that, again, everything that they can use, including fear, they use. And also too, it's and everybody's got it. Downright greed. When somebody calls you up and says you've won a prize, it's a good feeling, and you hope it's true, but many, many times it's just too good to be true.
Yeah. You might throw away logic for a moment.
You betcha.
In those states of fear or excitement.
You betcha.
I went to an event in Leisure World a while back. Someone from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, I believe, came and spoke to people, and they said that if you receive a call or a text from someone or an email, to Google the correct phone number, because when you click on a link or call the number in the email, that phone number is coming directly from the scammer. So you're, playing to their hand. So that's one way to kind of get around that.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, many of our residents are not. Some have issues with computer or don't have Wi-Fi and can't instantaneously check those things. So what we ask is just say thank you very much, hang up the phone, and talk to a trusted friend. Call the police. Ask people, does this seem right to you? And 9 times out of 10, they're going to go, that just doesn't seem right, and you could have problems here. And the thing is that now the scammers have gotten smart. They've learned to bypass that potential scam on your phone, and they've come up with and it'll say Social Security office on there and things like that. So when in doubt, hang up the phone and ask somebody you trust, does this seem right?
What would you recommend people do in the moment that you hang up the phone or the money's been sent or the gift cards have been purchased? In that moment where they might realize that something is amiss, but it might be too late. What are the next steps?
Well, it might be too late, but you have to let the police know right away, because we can't help unless we know what's going on, and also it alerts us to the newest scams. Once a scam plays its way out, then they think of something else, and they'll just keep on playing that one until it's out. And unfortunately, the money we're talking about now is not just $500 here or $1,000 there. We've had residents scammed out of $30,000, $50,000, sometimes over $100,000, and it's very so it's very important that you let somebody know. We get it. Nobody likes to go, you know what, I think I got taken, and you just feel kind of what's the word for it? You just feel like you feel shamed that I made a mistake and I should have known better. Everybody makes mistakes, but a big mistake is not letting somebody know.
Yeah. Can you give some examples of scams that residents have been victims of in Leisure World?
Well,
Or maybe specific examples so people can understand.
perfect example. Just last month, had a gentleman call me, and he said, "I think I'm being taken here." He put himself on a social media. He was looking for dates. He was looking for and started interacting with somebody. Only saw the picture. Started interacting with them, and as you said before, they build the friendship, they build the trust, and then the car breaks down. And then this happens, and then if I could just get this, or my mom needs an operation, you name it, you'll hear it. And this is what happened to this gentleman. So he started sending this person $1,000 to $5,000 at a time. And finally, he stopped and said, I think there's a problem with this. He let us know. We let the police know. But I said, you know what? Let's send them a message and go, you know what? You never want to meet me. You get no more money until we meet. And that's the last they heard of them. And so that was a specific one. We just had a heartbreaking one where a resident was contacted, and somebody said, "Your Social Security is all messed up, and can I just verify your Social Security number?" And they gave out all this personal information, and they said, "You know what? So we can clear this up so you can continue to get your benefits. If you could just pay us $10,000, we'll get this all taken care of." She went to the bank, took out $10,000, dropped it off into a place outside of Leisure World. They came and took the money, and that's the last they saw of it. Just to let you know, we had a summit meeting with banks and law enforcement and other entities to go, how can we stop these scams? How can we assist residents that go to the bank and ask for these large sums of money? It's interesting to know that the bank works very, very hard when they feel that somebody's coming to the
Teller area?
Comes to the teller area and asks for $25,000 cash. They're trained on how to ask questions, and the manager will even come out and, "Are you sure? And is this a they'll try to understand. And there are times where, unfortunately, the person goes, "No, you don't get it. I did win Publishers Clearinghouse, and I need to pay these taxes so I can get my million."
Yeah.
And that is an absolute true story. Also, unfortunately, I have a laundry list of you name the scam, we've had people to fall for it, including some of our own employees. One of the employees on my staff got taken on the post office scam. There's a problem with your package. We're trying to get it delivered. Send this and got scammed out of $500 that way.
Wow.
So it happened, and see, that's the important thing seniors need to know. It's not just you; it's everybody. It's everybody. I get calls 5-6 times a day that I have to shut down. So
I would say I've received 10 texts.
exactly.
Right? Yes,
Exactly.
I receive a few constantly too. The post office scam, the packages, like I said earlier, the toll roads. So
It's just nonstop.
So one thing that's good, we talked about earlier, if you are not sure, if you want to, hang up the phone, call the trusted source, verify with friends or family. But if you don't want to talk to your friends or family, you can call security.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we will run down this information for you. You have to. We are very fortunate here in Seal Beach. Our communication and relationship with Seal Beach PD is fantastic. They are very responsive to us. We have Detective Ainley, who I'm in contact with constantly. We're on speed dial on our phones, and so again, if you're unsure, give us a call. Everybody calls us for everything up there in security, and then we love it. We think it's great. Call us on these things too.
Can you tell me about some of the other things besides meeting up with banks that GRF has done to kind of alleviate or get the information out to residents?
Well, I know that we've been active with Leisure World Weekly and letting people know that getting that in the paper, and also whenever any security people speak to clubs, things like that, I said our issue is we're not getting to everybody that needs the information. Not everybody listens to a podcast or goes to a meeting or reads the paper, or it's those people. And so we're asking Leisure World residents, watch out for your neighbor. Mm-hmm. Watch out for your neighbor. When they say, hey, I need a ride to the bank because I need to take out $20,000 because I need to square away my Social Security account, stop for a second, help them out, and maybe give us a call. And I know sometimes people go, I don't know if I want to get involved in this, and you can remain anonymous. Give us the information, and we can go and help people out.
Can you share the security phone number?
Yes, our direct contact number is 562-594-4754. And remember, this is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We never close. So make sure to, if you need anything, to give us a shout.
This has been Leisure World Direct.